Boot Camp. Welcome to Creative Currency number 9. You'll start to see that our schedule is ramping up. We're happy to take requests if you email me at jg@writersbootcamp.com. We have many other speaker events and interviews, but those are more long form. These Creative Currency, this series, are shorter form, 30 minutes, which goes quite quickly. You'll notice if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Writers Bootcamp, that the full interviews are still available. And the success of the company over 37 years is definitely not only due to yours truly, the founder, but also many staff members who cared about the support of writers, artists, filmmakers, even producers and executives over the years, and our alumni community is significantly strong. Please ping me at LinkedIn. We finally capitulated. And our Instagram is writers_boot_camp. So if you have suggestions for speakers, peers in the industry who have pivoted over the last 5-6 years with the onset of the streamers, in addition to the reduction of production in television the last couple of years, some say non-recovery from COVID, the actor strike, the writer strike, the onset and looming specter of AI, as well as the fires last year, it seems that business and production are picking up in LA. There are greater incentive programs that are evolving and being determined. There was a statistic that in Q1, 51 feature films were produced in LA. 46, of course, were under $10 million. And if you've been paying attention, either through basic training or pro membership, which is primarily what we do in addition to some consulting, and in these conversations, there is still great opportunity in independent film, especially if you can identify something on a genre basis that's relatively strategic and inexpensive to make in terms of locations. Doesn't have to be necessarily talky. It can be more than just a play that's being filmed. But I think if you take a classic genre, a type of circumstance, the tropes of a certain archetype, the paradigm of a very straightforward second act adventure, and some fresh approach, some opportunity for moments of entertainment to articulate and fulfill the promise of the premise, then you're in a situation where something can be made modestly. And there's an old adage in the business, it may be hard to make a living, but you can get rich. So I'm looking forward to, and I look forward to, your comments on these Creative Currency events. You can always email me directly, jg@writersbootcamp.com. And we do see our emails. Unlike this new generation, we don't have 30,000 unreplied emails. But I understand how that comes to be. When you have a business that's ongoing and a reason to be in touch with people and to be supportive of people, you know that the emails are relevant. And even we receive tons of spam and outreach in that way. But I can see how somebody who isn't relying on their email or their website for business might not want to check their email and not want to go through that logistically. So in some ways, it's completely understandable. And now we're just waiting for our speaker. So welcome to Writers Bootcamp. Creative Currency is an initiative that we expect to go on for quite some time. The goal is to get up to 2 or 3 events a week, so that by the time we turn around, we have an index. This is in addition to maybe 500 industry interviews I've done over the years as a complement, a supplement to Writers Boot Camp's materials and the tools. We have our next basic training starting Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. LA time, September 8th. September, October, as well as January, due to New Year's resolutions, tends to be our busiest time of the year. And so feel free to reach out if there's something we can do to help you with the script. I'm not a fan of script coverage or reading services or contests in which the deadline for development is the contest deadline. Therefore, the pool of applicants, at least in terms of the development nature of that material, isn't that special yet. And those accomplishments are on some level, even though it might be worth making a contact or two, getting a meeting. They're not the most ideal materially, and they don't go that far. So when we do a fellowship, and we do so usually for various categories, various demographics, for veterans annually, we usually do that one. AAPI, African American Perspectives, and other things throughout the year. We're providing the candidates and the winners educational support. So the process starts with the announcement of the winners. But when somebody on their application tends to include other things that they've won that they haven't necessarily invested in and don't necessarily represent a level of professional achievement, then there's a tendency for that to put their application down on the stack. We're looking for the professional disposition, the opportunistic quality, the more industry relevant kind of material. And while we're not exactly biased because we give everybody a chance, there tends to be an outsider's view of the craft by people who aren't at a certain level of significant education. That's why our alumni usually do quite well around town in every category, in every class strata, because when they've invested early in education, it makes a difference for all their future work. So just waiting for John. It's a little easier since we don't have an audience that we have to entertain directly, but I haven't gotten any kind of a note that he's missing.